It's a big rough and tumble, the summer show, you know? Everybody who subjects their work to it, you're in the mix. And it's all about a celebration of making stuff. There is not a show like this in the world where, you know, someone like Anselm Kiefer or Marina Abramovich or David Hockney can show in the same space as Joe Bloggs. Everybody gets equal billing. It's a democracy, you know, of a sort, very arbitrary one. I'm in charge. We are in Gallery 3, which I hung, and it's bright yellow because it's the summer show, clues in the title. There was a strong kind of current events, political sort of vibe going on, so I kind of amped it up. I started with the portrait in the middle because I thought it was such a lovely piece. And then that became the kind of still center of this sort of maelstrom of kind of agitprop and slightly dubious some of the works. I mean, we got our Banksy here, then I put him next to this painting that I was rejecting, but then I brought it in because I thought next to the Banksy it's kind of interesting. You know, what's that about? There's all little connections. You've got Jeremy Corbyn. Politics is very much part of contemporary art at the moment, you know, so in some ways in the hanging here I try to put it in a sort of not too shouty kind of way. All I want people to come in here is to go, wow, look, there's a yellow room with a big pink panther in. And there's Nigel Farage. When we were doing the send-ins, we were looking at all the images of all the thousands of works. If you'd have asked me after we'd finished looking at the work that really stood out in my mind, it was this carpet bear. Because we just all looked at it and went, like that, and we thought we're definitely having that one. This, for me, is the summer show. These sort of works, they're kind of, some people would call them kitsch, but I just call them high impact, because you've got to fight your corner in this show. There's a lot going on. This is by Rob and Nick Carter, and it looks like a painting, but actually it's a video. And over the course of an hour or so, it goes through the times of the day. And I think it's really a delightful thing. I only saw these for the first time this morning, these Tony Craig sculptures. I can't work out how they're made. They're like a bit of the desert brought inside, you know. You can feel the wind blowing through these things. They're just amazing. Then they're next to one of my favorite artists, this African artist called El Natsui. And I love these things. These are all made out of little bits of beer cans and bottle tops. And there's something so sort of joyous about them. I wouldn't mind one of those. This is an interesting piece. It's very simple. It's like a piece of that fencing you see around roadworks. And yet it's sort of beautifully crafted, mirrored surface, and these perfectly laser cut little pieces out of it. There's something kind of at once amazingly precious and casual, and I think that's a really lovely thing for an artist to be able to do. Like one of my favourite artists, Boetti, is sort of very good at that, where he'd make these sort of monolithic things on a whim, and I think that's got that spirit in a way. It's a really nice thing. This is the lecture room, and it's been hung by Tom Phillips and Alan Jones, and I suppose it's dominated by this huge photo piece by David Hockney. And it sort of plays with your mind a bit because it's all been photoshopped in a strange way, so the perspective is all kind of slightly out on everything, and it kind of gives you this slightly unsettling feeling that you're going to sort of tip into the photograph. And I think that's, you know, and there's another one of the same series on the back here. We need a big showstopper when you're putting on the summer show, and nobody does a showstopper better than Joana Vasconcelos. I mean, Portuguese artist, amazing, sensory overload, sort of like a huge spaceship that's landed in a haberdashery shop. I mean, it's just, I love it. One of the particular aspects about this year's summer show is because we have several other exhibitions now in the new expanded super big RA, we've decided that we put the prints up here in the Sackler Gallery because people love the prints, because people love to buy the prints because they're cheaper and more easily shown in a domestic setting. And so Chris Orr and Emma Stibben have curated the Sackler Gallery with the prints and drawings. Hello. Here's Chris. I'm just doing a quick video tour, Chris. What are your highlights of this room?
Yours.
There you go. I wasn't going to say it myself, obviously. But, you know, this gallery is dominated by this 3 by 2 metre woodblock print by this artist, Grayson Perry. And it's called Selfie with Political Causes, because Politics is very trendy at the moment in the art world, and I wanted to make a nice decorative image with lots of reference to all the things that people get angry about these days on social media. Nice sculpture by Yinka Shonobare. And this lovely triptych by Paul Arago, which looks great on its own here on the end wall. Oh, this is funny. This, I don't know who made this, but this is good. I mean, I'm a bit kind of, any piece of what they call kinetic art is normally powered by electricity, and therefore it will break down. But this is quite sweet, actually. It's a little sort of mechanical automaton thing here, and it does work perfectly, which is amazing. It picks up a little grain of rice, one at a two at a time, and then drops it down. And there's something about the sort of meaninglessness of it I like very much. The futility, but it's really nicely put together. The futility. Now we are going right across to the other side of the campus here at the Royal Academy, to the new 6 Burlington Gardens building, which has been linked up with David Chipperfield's bridge. And we're going to go to the Macaulay Gallery, which is a space that I have designated Room of Fun. And there's nothing worse than calling something fun to make it not funny. So that's where we're going. The first artist I asked, of course, when you're thinking of putting together a humorous exhibition, will be David Srigley, who is one of the few artists who is genuinely funny. And so this wall of news by David Srigley always titters me. One of the things I did when I noticed that as we were going through the sending, the thousands of works we were looking at, there were quite a few portraits of me. And so I thought it would be funny if we had a big group of them. So I think there's about 12 over there on the wall, and then there's sort of a series of sort of little sculptural ones as well. Oh, and this is a funny thing. This is Michael Landy's shopping trolley, which will be, has got a sound component, so it will be, it's got a sort of market stall trader in it going, come on now, 2-for-1 deal, everything must go, come on now, roll up, get your art here. So I think that's the kind of spirit of the summer show, because one of the special things about the summer show, of course, is that everything is for sale, and it is to raise money for the art school within the Royal Academy that not people know about, but now when they go through the tunnel, they can see it. So it's great. I hope you enjoy my summer exhibition. If you want to know more about the history of this great show, there's another show on here at the Royal Academy called The Great Spectacle, about its long history here at the Royal Academy until August the 19th.